Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to use the tracker software. This can be used to track motion of videos, which includes any video that you can take on your phone, or you could even find videos on the internet that other people have made. So the first thing we need to do is add a file. So I'm just going to go File and Open, File Chooser. Now I have a video here, which just has some default name out of a cell phone recording. It's an MP4 video. There's a number of different ones that can work for this. Just give it a minute to upload, and then we will see our video here. Now on the video, there is a play button at the bottom. You should probably just hit that to make sure that everything is working as intended. On this video, a ball comes rolling across the surface, and that's exactly what we want to see. Okay. So from here, we can begin to calibrate this video with the tracker program so that it will know the measurements that we're actually dealing with. So just kind of restart the video or slide it back a little bit. And I'm going to calibrate this using the ball, which is rolling through the frame. So we'll add in a coordinate system. And the coordinate system, we can really make this wherever we want. It doesn't really matter. If I go back to where the ball started, where it entered the frame, then I can use that as my starting point, and then that will give me a value which will start around 0 for my initial coordinates. So if I find the moment when it first enters somewhere around here, just kind of drag that over and center it. This is now my coordinate system. And from here, we can add in a calibration stick. Now, a calibration stick needs to measure something which is in frame. So you could measure the distance between these sort of little pieces of the floor here, these wood pieces, but I'm going to use the ball itself. This is a lacrosse ball, and lacrosse balls have a diameter of about 2.4 inches, which is about like 6.3 centimeters-ish. So we'll just line this up. Because the ball is rolling from left to right, it gets a little bit of motion blur in that direction. So I'm going to set up this measurement this way. And you can zoom in on the picture and get fairly precise with it. So I'll go right about there. And then on the bottom, I'll go right about there. And I will need to change this measurement. So it's in meters by default. And that's perfectly fine. We can just go 0.064 meters, so 6.4 centimeters. It will change to scientific notation. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't really matter how it looks here. You've entered it as meters, whether you enter it as 0.064 or 6.400 e -2, like they're the same thing. So don't worry about that changing. It's just putting it in scientific notation. Now, from this point, we would want to start tracking the actual motion. We now have the setup available for us in order to track what's going on. So I'll just kind of go back to the beginning of the motion. And I always want to track the same part of the ball. I can go frame by frame here, and that's where the ball just enters. So I can zoom in on this. And we can start to track new point mass. And this brings up a few graphs. Mass A, we have X versus time. So time on the X-axis, and then X, the X position will be on the Y-axis. And then on the other graph, we have time again on the X-axis, and then Y is in the Y-axis. So the trick here is to hold down Shift, and then your cursor will turn into this square shape. And then it's best to zoom in. You can hold down Shift and just click right where the edge of the ball is. So there we go. And we see that it moves forward 1 frame. So the ball has shifted over a little bit. So I'm going to select the leading most edge of this ball again, holding Shift and clicking, and then just doing it again and again, zooming in so that I can get the best picture possible. It's a little bit blurry, but you're always going to get a little bit of motion blur whenever you're recording anything. Still, being zoomed in really far generally gives you the best results here. So if we keep just holding down Shift and clicking, tracking the leading edge of the ball, trying to get as close to the center as I can. and this is producing a bunch of points. We can see over here on our graph that we are producing a bunch of points in both the X and the Y directions. And if we just keep going, we would keep getting more points. Now, you can do this for the entire motion, and it'll track everything all the way from the beginning to end, whatever frame you started on to whatever frame you end on. It'll keep going frame by frame. Once you've done that, you get this set of data here, which is also really useful. You can take this and you can put it into a spreadsheet. You can put it into Google Sheets or Excel or whatever. And if you're trying to manipulate the information and sort of analyze it, this is usually the most useful thing. There are these graphs which are generated by default, which are a pretty good visual representation. But if you're looking for a way to really be able to work with all of the information that you're getting, this chart here is going to be what you want to work with. So once you've done that, you have the data that you need, and then you can start working on other elements of tracking motion or modeling motion. You can look at doing things like velocity calculations or acceleration calculations. But this is what you need to do in order to get yourself to a position where you have that information so you can start to analyze it.